Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to another session of Meditations with Marigny. And I just want to say, if you like my videos, I'd love for you to go ahead and click like now. Just click like, and then I would love for you to share it with a friend, and I would love for you to subscribe, and I would love for you to leave a comment. Give me some feedback so that we can have something to chat about, and it helps me to build my content as well. You can also use the email address that's inside of the description, and you can send me an email if you'd like for me to give you some personal feedback. All right, so I want to jump into this one. In this video, I think I'm gonna name it something like, when the answer is no, or is no a rejection or an affirmation. That might be it. Is no a rejection or an affirmation? Is it affirming what you already know, or is it a rejection to what you feel like you wanted? And I'm saying that because you guys know that we've been talking about the dating process, and I think that I've talked often about guys that I've met that may not have been a good fit for me, but I want to talk about a conversation about someone that felt like I wasn't a good fit for them. And I think that bringing balance to relational interaction is really important. And I'm saying that because this particular young man, we had good vibes and things of that sort, but we had a couple of bumps in the road. And we finally did decide that we were going to meet. Let's meet and let's just see where we are. And I'm kind of like him. Basically, in his message to me, he said that pretty much he really liked me. He thought I was a good person. I got a kind heart, blah, blah, blah. And he said, but he knew that once he met me, he would know, whether or not I was a good fit for him. And pretty much he's vetting and looking to befriend someone that he could have a long-term courtship with and possibly lead to marriage. And so once we met, we talked and everything, and we enjoyed each other's company to a certain degree. And then we departed. And so he basically just said to me that he feels that we would be better off as friends. There are some components that he really liked about me, but there are some things that he's looking for in a woman that only he would know. And he would be able to know that when he met her. And I can appreciate him for that conversation. And I did not, when I responded back to his text, I simply said, okay, received and understood. And that's because I received it. I was okay with what he said. I received what he said and I understood. And I think that that's the way that a vetting process is supposed to be. I think that when we really are looking at people that we feel might be compatible with us for long-term dating, I believe that it is important for us to look at things and components about people that we feel would not be a good fit for us. And so the reason that I said at the beginning, is it rejection or is it affirmation? Because I don't feel rejected. I feel like he affirmed whether or not I was a good fit for him, and I did the same. So if the truth is told, the feeling was mutual. I didn't feel that he was a good fit for me, and he didn't feel that I was a good fit for him. And so I think, he just said, I think we'll be better off as friends. We might keep in touch from here to there, but to be honest, it probably won't be any connectivity there. And that's fine with me, and I think it's fine with him. For where we both are going in life, I think that the portions of what God needed me to do in his life, I did it and I provided it, and now he's continuing to move on to bigger and better things in his life. Um, I do think that sometimes we mix our our emotional capacity with people to the point that we might be emotionally attached to them, but we're not physically and or mentally attached to them. And you have to be very careful with that portion, because sometimes we can connect ourselves to people and we know they're not a good fit, but we keep going. And I think one of the mature things that I look at in this dating process is that most of the relationships that I've had, or men that I've talked with, it's kind of been short term, for both of us. Either they decide that they're not interested in me, or I decide that I'm no longer interested in them. And so the cycle has been fairly quickly. And it also has, it's kept me and them from investing in time that would not be viable for either one of us. So the main portion that I want you guys to get out of this video is that someone telling you no, you're not a good fit for them is not necessarily rejection. You have to embrace the dating process and the vetting process and know that some no's are just a good no. Like, I think it's a very mature decision to decide that this person is not going to be a good fit for me long term. And you decide that in the first month of you all getting together, versus you see some things that you know are not going to be a good fit for you. And then you keep going, and the next thing you know, you're 5, 10, 15 years into something, and then you knew it from the beginning that that was not going to work. So just know that I want you guys to be encouraged in this dating process. Like, I'm not hurt. I'm not disappointed. Um, I, I just almost was relieved. If the truth be told, I was like, ooh, that's a good one. Like, I'm glad that the feeling was kind of mutual. So um, just know that rejection, or the no in a relationship, is not necessarily rejection. It really just affirms to me that I'm doing this dating thing the right way. I'm having hard conversations. I'm having difficult conversations early on in the relationship. And I am able to see whether or not we will be able to then press past those points in order to get to something bigger, greater, larger, more in depth, and then have something that's going to be viable for the next 20, 30 years. Um, I feel like that's kind of what my lifeline would be. I might have 40 years left in me, but 20 to 30, maybe 40. But I want to make sure that these years are positive years, that they are lived in a way that I enjoy them and I actually enjoy my person. And I said this to a young man, and I'll close with this. We were talking about, it's just a general friend. We were talking about good people, and he was saying, he's a good man, and he's a good guy, and I said, yeah, I said, and I'm a good woman, and I'm a good lady. Like, you have to believe that there is a match for you on the other side. We were talking about the young ladies that he's dated and things of that sort. And this is just a platonic friend, but at the end, we have to know that there is someone on the other side that matches us. That means there's someone else with the same core values. There's someone else that has gotten tired of the cycle of dating, and they're tired of the people that are out here putting on, and they are ready for someone that they can truly be themselves with. So don't give up on the process. In 2026, I believe that God is going to do some matchmaking like he's never done before. And I think that it's going to be because many people have come out of the cycle of the things that they once wanted, and they're going to now move into the things that they need versus the things that they just want. And I think that there's going to be a good match for the two. I think God is going to provide what is needed in what is wanted to our relationships. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, I would love for you to click like. If you like it, I would love for you to share it with a friend. And if you think it can encourage somebody, send it to them so that they can hear it from a different perspective. Just know that I don't give up on love. I haven't given up on love. I believe that it will eventually find me. And I'm just living out my life to a point that I know that God is doing what he needs to do, how he needs to do it, when he needs to do it in my life. All right, y'all. I love you guys. Welcome to 2026. And I want for you guys to know that if you like my videos, click like, share it with a friend, and or I would love for you to subscribe. Have an awesome day. Bye.